Hello. Hey, Katie. How's it going? I don't know if Casey's going to be able to make it tonight. She was moving furniture earlier, so she might not be able to make it tonight. Can you hear me okay? Oh, that's an alarm. Sorry. We're still waiting on Sammy. We're going to see how many people decide to chill with us. Uh-oh. Stop that. There we go. Oh, these banners are crazy. All right, so we're going to start reading sprints at 8:10. Well, I guess I'll just put 10. Makes more sense to everybody. There we go. And then we'll go from we'll do a 30-minute one to start off. I think the 30-minute ones work pretty well for sprinting. Hello. I'm getting my seltzer water together. I'm kind of boring with my seltzer water. So if you guys are drinking anything cooler, you should tell me about it. Clearly, I'm lame. All right. Hey, Jess. Did you get any further in the book today? I didn't read much after I finished reading earlier. I'm still on chapter 19, which, it's not as far behind as I thought I would be at this point. So there's that. I can catch up, though. I believe in myself. It's like another 100 pages. So it'll be fine. I'm fine. This is fine. Chapter 12. Very good. Group of people reading live, like reading out loud. Kind of like what we did with the Facebook lives, but like all at once. You guys are getting really janky me today. We took like a really long Pokemon Go walk and it rained on the way back. And I just climbed in my pajamas because I'm tired. That might be cool. Maybe I can convince Lindsay and Michelle to do it for the anthology today. Or not today, obviously. Mistborn's so good. I really loved Mistborn a lot. Stormlight Archive's got a lot to catch up with as far as like whether or not I like it better than Mistborn, because I just so much loved all the characters in Mistborn. All right, 4 minutes to reading sprints. I think Sammy's going to try to make it. Oh, Casey says she might be able to make it too here in a few minutes. Chapter 15 in Way of Kings, Katie? All right. So for everybody who just joined in, we're going to start reading at 10 after, and then we're going to go for 30 minutes and do, then maybe like check in as to where we are and kind of what we're thinking right now. What are your general thoughts on what you're reading right now? I know that for the Stormlight Archive, I'm really, like for Way of Kings, I'm really in love with Kaladin. I think he's great. I'm not 100% clear on like the divide between light and dark eyes. I see some clarity sort of coming through, but I'm not really clear on like who's where and why and, you know, what they're up to. I'm waiting until September to start my first read of Oathbringer, but this is my first read of Mistborn. Cool. Very cool. When are we reading Oathbringer? I think we're starting Oathbringer in like October or something. We ended up sort of falling behind on that. Some snafus. All right, Sammy and Casey, you're going to be able to make it. I'm excited. All right. I'll have to start reading at 10 and then like keep an eye out for them to join. Yeah, so for Mistborn, I think I had a hard time picking a favorite character for that one. I liked Orsier a lot. Can't really say much more than that. The Conjurer were really cool. And I liked Vin's character. She had a good character arc. Who... Kelsier was like my most favorite from the Mistborn trilogy. I really enjoyed that one. Have any of you read Brandon Sanderson's YA stuff? And are you reading Brandon Sanderson with us today, or are you going to be reading something else? Casey's here.
Hello.
Book or Kindle, can you show me the cover for Way of Kings? Right? Snappy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very pretty.
How are you
It's
doing?
very pretty.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. I'm good. We had like a super busy day, but I'm glad to be here and like having some time to read.
That's good. I was trying to finish this today, so I'm glad I could actually make it. So that's good.
Let's see. I'm having a really hard time picking a favorite right now. I think that Sazed is my favorite. Sazed's amazing. Yeah. Jess is reading Mistborn trilogy for the first time, and she's going to read Oathbringer in September.
Jess, I think I invited you from Kaz's Discord, if I'm remembering your name correctly. So welcome. I'm glad you're reading it with us. Casey, how much do I got left? I'm on page 887 out of 1,007 pages. So 200 or less than what? I'm not going to do math right now.
Yeah, who wants to do math? It's no fun. So Sammy just messaged me. She's going to be here in just a quick second. So we're going at 10, but then maybe also like 11 or 12, just so she can join in with us, jump in.
Yeah, I got my furniture moved a little earlier down. I'm at my desk now with my books near me.
Yeah.
My Brandon Sanderson shelf's over. I can't point with my fingers. There.
I love that you have like different shelves for different authors. My friend Lindsay has like an entire Anne McCaffrey shelf, and I think that's really cool. It sets off my OCD so bad though if I organize my books any other way than like by author last name. It's like I can't find anything.
I get that for sure, and my shelf is normally author last name. I just now own the entire Cosmere and physical book, so I figured I should put that on the same shelf.
Yay!
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing good. Getting ready to start going. We wanted to give you another minute or two to get here.
Appreciate it.
How far are you now, Sammy? You're leaving me in the dust.
Sorry.
I'm such a slowpoke.
Let's see. I think I just finished. So, just about to start part 3.
Ooh.
I'm just, as I reread this book, I'm like, oh, I love this. I love that this happened. It's hard for me to like put things in the Discord, I've figured, because I'm like not really reacting to the things initially. But I'm trying to go through and like comment on other people's reactions, be like, yeah.
You could totally go through and like give your second impressions. Like, I think that would be fine enough. Maybe put it in the full spoilers. That way, if it like has to do with something later, yeah.
That's a good idea, actually, because I'm like, I know for like a particular character, I'm like, I know what you become in the third book, so your innocence now is silly, and I don't like it.
All right. Are we ready to go? I'm gonna
Yeah.
set an alarm.
I am ready. We're going to 40.
40, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna mute myself while I read.
Yeah, same here, because I'm gonna like make weird mouth noises and stuff.
See you all on the other side.
Yeah. would start coughing right after I unmute.
Oh,
I was like,
what's it doing? Y'all, I'm so mad. I forgot this stuff happened at this point in the book, and I'm just like, I'm so mad.
sorry, I turned the page and there's like a
How far did
graphic.
you
and I was
get?
like, oh.
How far did y'all?
Not very.
Well,
I read a whole 8, 7.
I read the.
I'm getting out my calculator. Please hold.
I did that too. I read 33 pages.
I got 18.
I had to. Well, I was reading one of
I'm
the.
so mad. I forgot the stuff happened.
I was reading one of the interludes, so it was complicated. It took me a long time to read it.
Yeah, those kind of take a minute because you got to figure out wait, who are you?
Mhm.
What are you doing here? What time is it? Where am I?
Trying to figure out the lighting. It's really dark outside. Oh, that's really bright in my face.
I see Jess said the child, but I don't know what that means. What does she mean?
I don't know if you saw my Lego. I wonder if that was it. It's Baby Yoda or
Oh.
the child.
Oh, this shirt has.
I don't know what the child
Okay.
means. Does Mistborn have a child? Otherwise, I don't know what the child is. If my Lego is not what was spotted behind me, but it was kind of far away. So
I mean, Vin's a child in the first Mistborn book.
Yeah.
So maybe. I thought it was kind of funny because I looked up and I saw that, and like the chapter that I was reading was someone waking up to a child like pressing up against them in terror, and it was like, oh, that child? Like, no, she's not even reading the same book as I am.
oh, it's your shirt, Sammy.
Oh, yeah.
Also, look, we got many Baby Yodas here.
Yep.
I'm not a Star Wars fan. Don't hate me. I
The
just don't get
Mandalorian
it.
is actually a
Don't
really
get
well
Star
done
Wars.
show. I think as long as you're interested in general sci-fi, it's not super Star Wars heavy. So you might, if you have Disney Plus, I would recommend it. I enjoyed it. I've been thinking about rewatching it.
All right.
It was really. I
I
enjoyed
called
it.
the first one. Who wants to call the
But
next
I'm
one?
I can call the next one. Do you want to sort 45 or 50?
Let's go for 50.
All right, 50 to 20.
Cool.
I had to do some brain math. I'm like, I don't know how long I want to read.
Well, with your pace, how long is it going to be until you finish
Probably
it?
an hour.
I don't know how you read so fast.
I don't either. If we're being honest, it's but it some magic happens in my brain. But I literally like put my head down on my book during this time because I forgot that this thing happened and I'm so mad about it. Don't go read the part 4 reaction sections in the Discord. I was just like yelling about it. I'm very angry. But I mean, it's good because it like brings some of our like cast together, but still like I was like, yeah, that's where I'm at in life with this book right now.
I'm reading about Dalinar, and I don't dislike his character. Like, he's fine. But like, I'm almost like at this point, I'm more interested in what happened like before the prologue. You know, it's like I want to know what happened before. Whatever happened before then sounds a lot more interesting than whatever's happening now, because all the stuff that's happening now is like political and stuff. And I'm like, nah, these people have like cool magic. Why are we here?
He grows on you, I promise.
Yeah, I actually like Dalinar now. Like at the end of part 2, I actually
really?
I actually don't like Adolin. He's
You just want some time to come into themselves. They all grow up and things, and even though Dalinar was like old, but you will grow more attached to just about all of the characters.
What chapter are you on, Katie? I'm gonna get through chapter 20 fast because it's like a literal page and a half. And then I wonder if I can get through 22 by the end of the next sprint.
I believe in you.
I don't.
Me too. I saw a comment in the Discord that it was Brian said that when you finish part 2, you should go back and read all the little things at the beginning in order. I don't know when I'm going to
Just
do
about
that.
books, I agree that the character arcs are super epic in this. And you're on chapter 15. That's awesome, Katie.
That is awesome.
So I'm going to be real with y'all. This is my second time reading it. And I read the epigraphs more the first time, but like I've never once gone back and read them all in order. I'm pretty sure that they just come from like the Way of Kings book that Dalinar gets read to him because men don't read in this universe for some reason.
Right. Well, what's up with that? Like,
yeah, I want to know.
I don't think so. I think it's just like there's very much like gender divides on different things like in these books. Like the food is designed for men or women, like spicier food is only for men. I think you see more of that in the second book. The whole Pan thing is still weird to me. But I mean that you get a little in your arm, so I guess that's functional for something. No, some of the the socioeconomic political stuff is just still very intriguing to me because it's like I haven't read something where like the men just don't read in this universe, in this particular planetary system. Like, well, that's wild.
it is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange that things are divided like that because, like, as I'm learning more about the people who we were shown in the prologue, there were men and women both there. So it's like, where'd the equality go? What happened?
I don't even think it's an inequality thing. I think it was a so we're going to give men the fighting tasks because they're genetically like bodies are built different and they're stronger. Like it's kind of hard to be equal in like a physical way. And like women, we're going to let them be all intelligent and stuff. But I'm like, I don't know why it's separated so like aggressively on that line. That's kind of like the more feminine men do like the ardents and stuff. And they're like, they read and they do engineering, but like only if they don't fight. Like you can't fight and be smart in this world. I don't get it.
That kind of bothers me a little bit. It bothers me a lot of it, actually. Like I really don't enjoy that fact.
It's definitely weird. Like I'm rereading this and it's still weird. I don't know I don't remember a lot of details because it's been a while, but I'm paying attention to like some of the socioeconomic stuff a little bit more just so I can be like, why did this happen this way?
What chapter are you on, Sammy?
1-5.
Oh yeah, you're on the interludes. Interlude 5.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're supposed to read. Oh no.
What?
We got it. We're 1 minute to reading. Okay. I thought we got distracted. Just kidding. Who would get distracted? Me? No.
Never. Distracted? What?
What is distraction? I will say, like, reading this book has just made me so happy all over again. I'm just so excited. I've had a great time rereading this.
I just really need Kaladin to like be as cool as I know he can be.
What chapter are you on?
I'm getting ready to start chapter 20, and it's one of those 7 years ago in Kaladin's point of view things, and I'm like, man, I'm about to see something super messed up.
Kaladin comes into himself, I think, around chapter 30. No, he is great. It just takes him a minute. Like the epic thing happened on page 914, like the truly epic thing. So, yeah.
In typical Sanderson fashion, that's like 80% of the way through the book. Like once you get to the point where you're like, oh, I can't wait to keep reading about all this stuff. He's like, the end. Like, why?
At least there's 2 more books already ready for you for this one. So
That's true. Enjoyed the book from the start, but I didn't realize how much I loved it till the end.
that's how I feel on my reread.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Sanderson does. You read the entire book and you're enjoying it, but it doesn't come into itself until the end, and then you read it all and you're finished, and then you reflect on it and you're like, oh snap, that was really good. But you don't have that feeling until you finish the book.
Yes, girl, at Jess.
All right.
Time to
20.
See y'all who said.
How'd we do?
What has happened in this book? I'm gonna turn my lamp at my face because it's real dark in here. Like, that is bright, but all right. Gotta pull up my calculator. 1 moment.
I got like 20 pages that time.
Nice. It's not my calculator, that's my timer.
I love Wit. I love him so much.
Has he said his other name yet?
No.
Okay, I can't say anything yet, but yay! I read 40 pages, also like a maniac again.
I feel like you probably speed read to an extent, and like I get really stuck on like each and every word. Like I need to, especially after I've listened to like an audiobook or something, because then I need to hear it all in like their voice. So I spend a lot of time like with that internal narrator. How many pages did you get, Sammy? Are you muted?
I think she is.
I was muted. 10 is what I got. 10.
How much? 10. Awesome. Katie got 4. Nice. Very cool. 20 for Miss Moore. Excellent.
That's awesome.
All right, Sammy, your turn to call one.
Let's see. Let's do. Are we only doing 2 hours for this thing?
Yeah, I need to keep it at 2, and I actually need to run upstairs and tuck my boys in real quick before we start this next one.
Okay, so let's see. What time is it now?
22 after.
So you want to do 30 to top of the hour? Does that give you enough time to? Okay.
I'm back at it again with guacamole.
That'd be awesome. Nice. I bought some avocados today because I really wanted guacamole.
I bought avocados and I bought guac because I forgot to get jalapenos, so I can't make guac without. Moral of the story is I have guac and an almost gone margarita.
God, I love margaritas. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to tuck them in, say goodnight, and I'll be back down here.
Sounds good.
What part are you on, Abby? What part are you on?
Let's see. The 6th interlude with the second one with Seth or Zeth or whatever you want to say.
I've always said Zeth in my brain, which I know is incorrect, but I think it's pronounced Zeth according to the internet. Okay. Cool. His interludes, is that the one? I think the second one is where he's just owned by the random people in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a character that is interesting, definitely. That is not one of the like main cast, obviously, but it's a cool time.
Yeah, I feel like these interludes take me like twice as long to read because I have to figure out who I'm following and what they want to do or what their point is. And
yeah, I agree that they're a little complex. I kind of just read them as like a story. I don't try to get too into it because otherwise it's like, who are we talking to here? I don't know what's going on. I kind of hold them akin to Dalanor's visions that we don't really like. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's just along for the ride.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense. Because as far as what you've told me, they still don't make sense, and
they probably make sense. And I'm trying to actually pay more attention to things on my reread, but it's been like a year and a half since I read them the first time, and I don't remember them making a lot of sense. I figured they would make sense when we got all 5 books from Era 1 of Stormlight Archive.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. This book is so heavy. Like, I have this pillow that I use to, like, put on my lap so that it'll, like, sit on it.
No, I was trying to hold it up so I could, like, have it in the view of the camera, and I'm like, my arms hurt. Which is ironic because my bookmark says my workout is reading in bed until my arms hurt. So, it's like, This is truly a workout of a book.
Yeah, you could lift weights with this book for real.
Mm-hmm.
I have my candle from Grace and Honey. The I like big books and I cannot lie.
And
I keep it on top of my Stormlight Archive books because I'm like, until I get all of the Eye of the World books, these are my biggest ones.
So I know you have the ones, Kat, that are not the gargantuan, like tall ones. Is the font size still good in those?
I mean, it's real small. Like,
that's pretty small.
Yeah, it's a struggle, honestly, but I knew I was going to eventually get the leather-bound version. I was not expecting to be ridiculous and go ahead and dump that $250 this year, but I totally did. Because it said Brandon Sanderson signed copy, and I was like, yep, I'm buying that. If he signs it, I'm buying it.
So the first time I read these, I borrowed the first two. And I was able to buy the third one myself, of the tall floppy ones that are like open flat.
Mm-hmm.
But then I spent like a year and a half. Yes, it does, Katie. I spent a year and a half trying to find the other two, not in hardcover and not $36 at my bookstore. Like, they literally only had the first two hardcover for like 6 months. And I was like, I am mad about this. But I ultimately got it.
Yeah, Sammy was showing me hers after I got my mass market, and we had a long discussion about how I was completely jealous because your illustrations are gorgeous and mine are just like these tiny dinky things. And I have to hold them up to my face like, what does this say?
I think the illustrations in the second book are better. As Shalon's book, and the illustrations are made by Shalon.
Yes. So, I love that.
Quote unquote. Yeah, I couldn't.
Can you read it again? Or are you here?
What? No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm just listening to you guys. But yeah, I purchased this one, the first one myself, because it was on sale. And then I got the second two for my birthday this year. So I have all three of the big floppy ones.
That's awesome.
I will say, for the Wheel of Time, whenever you get there, book 3 was hype. Like, it was really good. And I was going to pause for a minute and not pick up the fourth one until after I finished, like, Rhythm of War. But now I'm like, dang it. Like, it's such a cliffhanger. And I'm like, oh, crap.
I can't stand cliffhangers. The leatherbounds are gorgeous. I really like to see that he was going to sign it, and that it was coming in 2 volumes. I was like, I'm going to do this for myself. Like, I'm going to just really treat myself right now, because I had been saving up money for a laptop, but then I changed the operating system on my laptop and everything started working like miraculously better. So I was like, I'm going to buy 2 leather-bound books instead.
I participated in the Kickstarter, but I couldn't cough up that money because I literally just bought this desk that I'm using, which is one of the like fancy ones that stands by itself and like is a standing desk.
Yeah.
Because work from home life, woohoo. And also, I don't have space on my bookshelves for 2 leather-bound. So I just did the $50 tier where I get the physical like novella because I already have the Edge Dancer one. So.
What were you asking, Sammy?
I don't remember what I was going to say.
You said is the
leather-bound. We were talking about the leather-bounds.
Oh, is the $250? Does that cover both volumes? Of like, or is it just?
So it's like, my understanding was that Way of Kings is being split up into 2 volumes.
Yeah.
So it's like these 2 huge leather-bound volumes. And yes, my understanding was that you got both part 1 and part 2. And then also like
you get the novella, all of the swag.
Yeah.
stretch goals because he reached the stretch goals on like the first day because his fans are nuts, myself included. And then I think we got a few more stretch goals, and I think they got to also upgrade the leather on the leather bounds as well.
I also really wanted to help push it towards that 7 million because it was like if they got it to 7 million, they were going to do like all kinds of stuff, and I was like, yep, I want that to happen. So we're gonna push towards it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I asked for Christmas the first Mistborn book in leatherbound. I've obviously read that trilogy and I really like it, so I asked for the first one from my husband and then the second one from my best friend and her husband. So
hey, bang for your buck there. You're getting like all the it's like
right?
buy me the book.
Check them off. Check. All right. Let's see. You ready to start this last sprint here?
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. I might finish the book on this one. We'll see.
Do it. I dare you.
I finished the book. Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess. Thanks for joining us. Oh, my alarm's going off. All right. How to do that time? I know you finished the book.
Jesus, I read a lot of pages.
I got 20. I'm starting to get to a point now where I can read a little
20
faster.
pages.
Yeah. Once you start getting into it, it starts being
As the book picks up,
read it faster.
It's hard to not read it faster.
Gosh, I'm tired. I'm still not caught up where I'm supposed to be today, but I'm not as far behind as I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, and when you get to I think part 3, it'll be hard to put down.
What chapter did you say it started picking up for you, Sammy?
I mean, it was still. I still think it's kind of slow, but I'm only on the first chapter of part 3. But I really enjoyed it. Let's see. Once I got to, I think it was 25.
25. Okay. What chapter did I just start? I just started 23, and I can feel it starting to pick up. I can feel that things are starting to sort of mesh together. Katie, you got a page in. It sounds like you got some distractions happening around you, girl. Which I feel on a spiritual level.
I think part 3 through 5 are most fast-paced chapters, or sections. Yeah. Part 2 is where it starts to pick up. Around 23 is where it started to pick up for me for the second read through. But I read through part 3, I think, before my vacation, and then I got back and I've read the rest of the book since Wednesday.
So I had a thought about the men and women being so starkly different. Sanderson says that the Stormlight Archive is supposed to be heavily based in Asian culture. And in Asian culture, the male and female part of society is starkly different. So it would make sense that he wanted to follow through with that if he wanted to keep with that representation.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't read that, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that would actually make some sense.
Yeah. I just was introduced to Navani, and I like how she just gives zero fucks about the precedents. She's like, whatever.
Navani's great.
I like her.
When you start learning more about focus would fall off the desk. Jasna or Yasna, she's also a really awesome female character. Yeah.
Oh, Katie, I'm so sorry you have a headache. Headaches are the worst. And they do make reading really hard.
Yeah, I think I did the calculator math correctly, and I got about 40 pages again.
That's awesome. Oh, this is a reread for you too, so it probably is moving
that for sure
significantly faster.
I was trying to force myself to read it slower by like doing chapter by chapter, like little statement annotation things like in a notebook, because I refused to write in this beautiful book. But then I gave up on that because I just wanted to read it. So yeah, it was one of the interludes, and it's not really like it's not. I don't think this would be considered a spoiler, but there's one of the interludes is like this guy who's just trying to like study the Spren, and I think we get a few interludes from him throughout the books, and it's actually pretty helpful with like the magic system. So to look forward to that for y'all. I enjoy those.
I read one of those in this live show, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, it makes sense that there's people out there that are studying the Spren or like trying to figure them out. So, but I didn't actually think about that until I started reading that interlude, and I was like, oh, I guess that would be a thing.
Yeah. It is cool.
So I'm having trouble figuring out like where Rock comes from. He keeps calling people like sick lowlanders, stuff like that. So it's like, well, you're from the mountains, I guess, or like from a higher elevation. So like that would make sense. But
I think we get more like detailed backstory on him in the second or third book, but it's basically somewhere that's like extreme high elevation, kind of like the native population, like I think it was the Andes Mountains, for example, like literally developed different lungs than the rest of the population because they lived so high up.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you look at the map, and I could be wrong, but if you look at the map, and Elithkar is on the right-hand side, Yakaved right next to it, and there's that mountain peak that goes like through. That's
Horn Eater Peaks. Yeah, look at you go. You're right. Okay. See, and I've been looking at Alethkar too. Like, okay, so this is supposed to be 10 different kingdoms. So how is that split up? And I know that we get lots of things on like how the Shattered Plains look with all the army camps around them. I shouldn't say lots. I've seen 2 so far. There's like, man, 10 kingdoms in Alethkar alone who are all essentially like, I mean, they're not in civil war, but they're not united.
I kind of envision it like as a warlord situation where like they're all in the same area and there's technically a king, but it's like just.
It's just so odd to me because like we're getting so much on Alethkar, and then there's like, and obviously we have a few pages to go, right? Like with this whole book, and then the next 4 after that, but like. There's so much more map to cover, and it's like, man, I'm like.
So the interludes that I just read sort of introduced me to 2 more places.
Okay.
That's why, like, I don't know if you guys were. I don't think you were watching me, but as I was reading the interludes, I was going back to the map to try to figure out, like, okay, where is this person? Like, what's happening? So, I mean, you don't get a lot of backstory to said place, but they do mention that they're in a different place than Elethkar. So,
I have a feeling I'm really, really, really gonna like Seth, and I'm kind of sad that I'm not seeing more of him. And I'm hoping that he comes in more in like the next parts or the next book. But I can't remember, was it Ishik or Non-Balat that I had? Let's see. It's like the people of yes, so Ishik is like from a people who live near something called the Pure Lake, and so they like to be in the water. And it was like, why are we not getting more about you right now? You sound like a really fascinating culture too.
So yeah, the Pure Lake is on the map. It's to the left of.
Yeah, it's like right there in the center, right? Yeah. Oh, and that's where. Okay. And the rest you see. See, I keep trying to go back to the map, but then it's like, I don't know. I think I'll get there. But it's super spread And that whole geopolitical thing is like, man, this is really, and the fact that, so like another thing that really is throwing me for a loop right now is the fact that we have one like class of people who are literally using money for light. And it's like, wait, what? Like, is this supposed to just be a statement on exactly how rich these people are? Like, is that the point? I know it was a tool for Seth in the beginning. So, I don't know. It just kind of seems like the sort of thing that you would
be patient.
Seems like the kind of thing that you would say, you know what we're not going to do anymore? Light things up with Stormlight, because that guy came in and he was able to, like, kill our king because there was Stormlight around. But I don't know. I'm just one person.
So, Casey, interesting that Kat unfortunately doesn't have, but if you look at the map in the front and it has the like lands, and then you go to the one in the back, it looks like it's the sea underneath, like that's inverted. Like
it's the Shadesmar, which I read about in section or part 4 or 5, I think, literally tonight. So I'm not going to say too much about that.
Okay.
The lawn magic thing, but it's cool.
Okay. So I was like, why does this look like Roshar in the front? Why does this look so
brightly colored?
So something else that I noticed. Sorry, Sammy, were you going to say something else?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
The part 2, the epigraphs mentioned Cell, and it was like, wait, what? That's like literally another planet, right? So then, like, the shard bearers, the original shard bearers, are falling out of the sky. I feel like this is probably spoilers for people who haven't gotten this far yet. Sorry, but I feel like there's going to be some really interesting stuff that opens up there. And I know that's why Brian probably said to read that short story. Like, I don't remember what short story he said to read. Or that you could read.
Unbounded.
Yeah, the first essay in Arcanum Unbounded, I think, is what.
Yeah.
And it's like, I read it, and I kind of see what he was talking about, but I felt like it related more to what happened in Elantris than what's going on in this one, minus the shards or whatever that were mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm like, so why did I have to read this now? Like, I'm confused.
There's a difference in size between, I can't make them up, Jesus. Way of Kings and Words of Radiance. This one I will take another couple hundred pages.
That's crazy.
I'm really excited. Like, I was really daunted by these books whenever I first bought them all. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck have I gotten into? But as I'm reading into it, like, as I'm getting more into it, it's like, man, I'm so happy that there are literally like another 5,000 pages about this world because I need those.
It's Kaladin.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. That's awesome.
So I haven't actually like read out of this copy of my book yet. Like, it's a fresh book because I borrowed it, and my brother borrowed this one to read it for me. So like, this has been read before. This is a fresh book, guys.
Oh snap!
Case you bought Virgin books for this.
Well, I bought them like a year ago because I'm like, I'm gonna need to reread these after I read them the first time. But
all right, it's late for me. I know it's fairly late for you guys. I have to go. I can't wait to do this again. It's gonna be at 1 p.m. Saturday after next. So what is that? It's like September the 5th, I think.
5th, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so 1 p.m. September 5th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be doing more read-ins. Yay!
Good. I'll see you all next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.